Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video of Hubert, and welcome to update 10 for my Mount Massive Asylum Minecraft map. This is a pretty special update because it is going to be the last update I'm going to be putting out before I'm going to put up the first download link for this map. And it is also the first video that has double digits, so yeah. It's been a while since the last update, so I figured I would do one here. There have been some pretty exciting new developments, as you'll soon see. But first, we are standing again in our usual spot here in front of the administration block, of course. And so, yeah, not too much has changed here. I've been putting off that front courtyard for a while now, although I am planning to get it done before putting the map out for download. So just a few small tweaks, like I filled in these gaps in the windows, and as you can see, I have been working on the interior quite a bit here. So yeah, this room is now furnished and pretty much done. So this whole cafeteria that's up here for the staff. So yeah, we got plants, we got like, garbage cans, we got vending machines. So yeah, vending machines there. Some more trash cans, and there's also like this kitchenette area off to the side, which turned out really nicely, I have to say. So that looks really nice. There's also some similar ones on the second floor in a couple of the rooms. Still gotta finish this kitchen here. Yeah, kitchens can be a little complicated sometimes, but I do have like this... I think this is like a freezer, pretty much. So it's a really large freezer. You're going to see that probably a few times throughout this video. I've been working on the kitchens a little bit, so I'll make sure to show those off. But this is just the rest of the third floor. So yeah, just getting some rooms, completed. Like I've been furnishing these rooms, it's like the bedrooms. So now there's actual beds here in all of them. So I did change the bed models. I decided to make them a little bit more simpler. I know, I just didn't really like the other ones I had that were much more detailed. I figured something more simple would work best in this case. Another new exciting development actually for the administration block is the chapel. So I finally have the chapel in place here. It's been a long time coming and it's finally here. So yeah, we have the kind of entrance here. And one thing I never really noticed until recently, actually, when building it, is that the ceiling is actually taller in this part right here than the rest of the third floor. So that's just something I never really noticed until actually doing this. So I got some candles out, and yeah, so, and you can see I made the doors out of shelves, so kind of a little trick I picked up from my Buffalo State Hospital map, so just make the doors out of shelves, since they're thinner than the walls. So yeah, and we got this window here, which, it's not on the outside. You only see it on the inside. So that's a little odd there. But you might also notice this door here. And so what this is this isn't here in the final version of the game, but it is in one of the early builds, so it does show up. And so what this is it's actually a staircase. So there is a staircase that was here in an early version of the game. And so that's actually how you get up here, which makes a lot of sense, actually, when you think about it. So a U-shaped staircase, and so it makes a lot of sense because this is kind of like a little, vestibule, so like a little landing. And then this goes to, this balcony area on the second floor. So, kind of interesting. I'm not sure why they took that out for the final release of the game. But, I just decided to add that since I can't put in the staircase since, obviously it would show up on the outside, but at the very least I have the suggestion of a staircase there. But anyways, this is the main chapel space. So of course we got your stained glass, of course, that you would find in basically any chapel here. And so yeah, here's where we run into some issues. So this is kind of where things get a little odd, but you can see that this area that sticks out doesn't actually line up with the one on the exterior. So another thing that I never really noticed until actually building the chapel is that it does not actually extend all the way out here. it actually does it's a bit shorter than what it looks like on the outside. So, which actually also makes a lot of sense because I ran into an issue where my chapel appeared a lot longer than the one in the game. I was like, why does this feel like it's a lot longer? It's like, oh, because it doesn't go out all the way. So, yeah. But other than that, the rest of the chapel looks pretty nice. So I like the roof here especially. So if like these like metal like supports here, and these pews also turn out pretty nicely. So another thing I copied over from my Buffalo State Hospital map since it also had a chapel. And yeah, I also did work on the actual recreation hall here, and this kind of turned out a little less nicer, but that's because, again, we have some issues here where the recreation hall in this case is actually a lot bigger rather than smaller than the exterior. So the interior of the recreation hall is a lot bigger than the exterior. So, like for example, this is all I could fit for the backstage area. This right here. So, and I didn't want to scale it down because then that creates issues of its own. So this is basically what you get. So yeah, the recreation hall is a lot bigger than this right here. But unfortunately, I couldn't fit it because it's just too small on the exterior. And I didn't want to make it bigger because I'm kind of putting emphasis on the exterior in this case. So you would just see like this giant rectangle sticking out. So, yeah, so more of the administration block. So yeah, just been furnishing some rooms here and there. Trying to get as much done as I can before the release. Make it look as nice as possible, even though it's not completely done. It won't be completely done before that first download link. But you will still be getting quite a bit out of this. So many of the rooms will be furnished, or if they aren't, they will be like basically completed structure-wise. So yeah, some rooms furnished here. We have 8205. Yep, pretty much done there, since that room doesn't have a whole lot of furniture in it. And I think that's pretty much it for the admin block. So yeah, another pool table here. So always like building the pool tables. Here's the courtyard. Courtyard hasn't changed too much. I did put like a tree or two. Let's set this to day so we can see this a little easier. So yeah, I put some more trees in the drying ground. Yeah, that's kind of what I was focusing on. But I did also put this little footbridge that's over this pond here. So that turned out pretty nicely. And yeah, also going to start putting in grass soon. So actual grass finally as well. I'm kind of experimenting a bit with that. See what I like, see what I don't like, what looks best. And I guess we could head over to the female ward. Let's see what we have here. So yeah, we got actual beds now in the dorms. Well, most of the dorms. And like these, the main ones in the center. Because the ones on the corners are kind of, it's a little annoying trying to figure out the bed placements for those. But these ones in the center here, I'm fairly confident is how they're supposed to go. I did do a little bit of actual, like, guesswork and kind of, like, interpretation, but this is what I actually like, so what I feel is confident is what it actually looks like. Still gotta work on these restrooms. I will make sure to have those done before download, but I do have these kind of, like, shower rooms done for this video. So this is where the female patients would take showers, get washed up. So we have 2 of those. And I also got these rooms done here. So the ones that have the actual laundry chute. So that's a fuse box. That's how I did the fuse box. And have like these lights. And you have the actual chute here. So here's the second floor. Oh, yeah. Game likes to randomly pause sometimes. I don't know, by itself it just does that sometimes. And here's the laundry room. Okay, so yeah, we got the laundry room with the laundry chute, of course. And yeah, this panel off to the side. So yeah, you can see that it has like a green light, and then up here is like, red lights. So it's kind of like just representing where the chute is, basically. So yeah, more dorms. Got another restroom, and then yeah, I did put in the actual bathtubs and the baths here. I also did put them in the one for the male ward. And I believe that's it for the female ward. Oh yeah, heading on over to the recreation area. It's pretty much done. Haven't been too many changes, although I did change the ladders. So instead of stairs, I decided to use fences since they do look nicer in my opinion. They're a little bit thinner, less bulkier. So, I don't know. And it looks a little more like ladders, in my opinion. So I decided to use those instead. I also did put this hill here in the back. So again, just some more terraforming here and there, making some steady progress on that. And it actually makes a lot of sense that there's a hill here since there aren't any windows on the first floor of the hospital, I noticed, at least on the back. And it also makes a lot of sense because there's also 2 restrooms that stick out past this wall. And so it doesn't really matter that much if there's a hill right above them, since they would technically be underground in that case. So yeah, and then you would have mountains back here. So yeah, still no progress on those, but I will probably be starting to work on those after the put the download link on. So you won't have any mountains in this first version. But yeah, starting to work on some of the pathways in the recreation area and some of the pipes. But I do also want to take a look at the hospital here since I've made a lot of progress on this, especially on the interior. So this is the main entrance right here. We got this office off to the side, which I'm still working on. But I do have the reception desk at least. So it's basically the same one. Very similar to one you see in the lobby of the administration block. You also got these windows that only show up on the interior and not on the exterior, so a little weird there. We have one of the staircases, one of 2 staircases in the hospital. I guess you could kind of consider this the main one since it's just off of the main entrance. You also got an elevator, which is basically identical to the one in the male ward. It seems as though Red Barrels basically just copied this over from the male ward when they built the hospital for the game. And so let's go left here. So yeah, a lot of hallways here that have basically been completed. Kind of got this side area that doesn't really go anywhere. And so this would kind of just wrap around and head towards the security room. There's also a small restroom here, which is also copied from one of the restrooms in the administration block. And we got some side rooms here. Yeah, more side rooms, like patient rooms. And the ceiling in here is a lot lower than in the main areas. I've noticed these 3 sort of patient rooms, I'm guessing, have lower ceilings. And let's see, so we got, yeah, surgery room, one of 2 surgery rooms. That's there not long after you start Whistleblower. So after you get free from your bindings. A lot of rooms here. So this is kind of like almost like I think this is a pharmacy. And then you have like the counter where you pick up your medications. At least I'm pretty sure that's what that is. So yeah, more rooms. We got like a patient room with 4 beds in total. And we got like some sort of like file room here, I'm guessing, or perhaps the library. Not really sure. And then this is just like an office, pretty much, since there's like a desk and a couple lockers. And so yeah, that goes back to that room, and then there's the surgery room here, complete with an operating theater. Yeah. And with an adjoining office here. And so yeah, there you go, surgery. So second surgery room, and then this goes on to the right-hand side. So yeah, this really long hallway. It spans nearly the full length of the hospital, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, this would be another office. It would be like another kind of screened off area. And so this is where we are. You can see that there are some windows that are blocked off. Yeah, so the only area that has rooms besides that behind those windows is this area, which contains the second staircase. So it's just off of that office area. And it goes up here, kind of wraps around, which is basically a library here. So yeah, this room is pretty much done as well. And we have another very long hallway. And let's actually go here, since there's some more spaces to explore. And heading on towards the back, yeah, more hallways, a lot of hallways in the hospital here. You have this one, which just kind of goes alongside the exterior here, yeah, in the back right corner of the hospital. And so this goes on for a little while here, eventually kind of turns and goes towards the main area. So with the main area with the elevator and the other staircase. And here we have patient rooms, and we also have the nurses station that would service the actual rooms here. So this is also pretty much complete. Got all of the details in here. And we have the main hospital ward here, which also has access to this balcony or veranda. And you get some views of the towers from there. Pretty nice. And there's just a whole bunch of patient rooms. See a whole bunch of them here. And just to give you an idea of what this looks like. And there also are a couple of bathrooms here. So a couple of the patient rooms have the luxury of having their own private bathroom in this case. So they're just connected to the actual patient rooms. So yeah, bathtub here, toilet and sink, and the window. So yeah, more patient rooms because this is like an L shape, so the hallway kind of is an L shape, and so there's more patient rooms. Here's just a typical patient room. Yeah, some of them have one bed, some of them have two for the larger ones. And here's a laboratory, so gotta work on that. But this hospital ward is pretty much done. And so yeah, there's an L shape here, so this hallway right over here makes a, actually kind of, not really an L shape, well, two L shapes in one, so it kind of angles off, kind of veers off in another direction. So that's pretty much it for the hospital. Prison block, there's not really a whole lot here because the prison block is pretty much almost done. I would say it's like, I don't know, maybe a little more than 95% done, like 96, 97, so it's pretty close. So it's just a matter of furnishing and adding detail to some of the rooms, especially kind of these side rooms here with the prison cells. All right, so we got the drying ground. So yeah, here's where I added a whole bunch of trees here. So that's also something I've kind of been working on as well. We got this tool shed here, which I did add some more stuff in. So it's pretty much done. So and we got like a really nice tool rack, which reminds me I also did put in the tool rack for one of the woodworking shops in the vocational block. And so this is a woodworking shop. That's why you got these table saws here. So of course this is Eddie Gluskin's kind of workshop. So that's where we have the one torture scene. This is where it took place. And we got, yes, this is also part of the woodworking department, I guess you could call it. So just some storage here, a lot of shelves. And it also overlooks the gymnasium. And we also have the other woodworking shop over here. And up here we have the sewing workshops. So I've been putting in the actual tables. And also kind of, this is the sewing machine I decided to go with. So I will be putting these in shortly. But at the moment, I do only have the actual tables here. So they're all in place, along with some shelves along the walls. And I also do have the actual pull-down staircase that goes up to the attic, which is also kind of a work in progress here. So I'm not sure if that's going to be completed before the map is put out for download. I am hoping to complete it, but no promises, because I still do have a whole lot of other things I could also be working on that are a little bit more priority, really. So we'll see. But here's the male ward. So much like the female ward, I've been putting in the beds, furnishing some areas, adding some finishing touches to some of the areas. So we have the showers over here, pretty much done. So yeah, similar to the female ward ones. And I am also planning to get those restrooms finished up that are part of the wards, the dorms. And we have the baths in place as well. So all the bathtubs are in. And one final development. Actually, if we go over to the kitchen, is yeah, we have that large freezer there, but we do have the basement. So I've been working on the basement of the male ward quite a bit here. And so first we have like this pantry area, and also the hallways that branch off from it. And so if you go over here, this actually goes towards the sewers. And so we have a bunch of hallways here. Some of them are really narrow, so you can see it's only 2 wide at this point. But then we have like a 3 wide here. And so this basically goes towards the sewers. And of course, we're heading the opposite way that Miles would head. So he would go like this way here. And this is how he reaches the male ward. You can see I did have to get pretty creative when it came to the areas that go past the actual male ward. So the ceiling, the actual rooms kind of intersect. So yeah, the male ward basement is really big. And so yeah, this area is where Miles jumps over and he goes towards the staircase here. And I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, and we got this office space here, which actually also extends out past the male ward. But luckily, this is all underneath that kind of area that sticks out. So it kind of forms a connection between the male ward and the administration block. So I just had to remove some smooth sandstone, and I was pretty much able to get the entire office down here, which is really cool. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this update video. That's pretty much all I really have to show. So yeah, like I said, if you're not already aware, yes, the map will be put on. I'll be putting a download link for the map. It's not going to be It's not going to be 100% done, but it is. You are going to be getting a lot out of this. So, going to be putting out a download link while I finish this up, since there's still a little bit left to do. I still have sewers to do. I still have the underground lab to do, and also, of course, the mountains and the rest of the terrain. So, but the main above ground sections are pretty much done. So you're going to be getting that. And so that is going to be coming sometime later this year, probably around summertime, as I have stated. So yeah, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Of course, feel free to leave any questions or suggestions in the comments section below. And I will see you in the next video, as always. So until then, goodbye for now, everyone.